notice. Doesn't work that way.
Okay,
Okay, and again, I don't know what they said to you. I'm just telling you, it can't work that way.
understood.
I understand, but your
Wenpu Trim versus William Dunleavy.
honor,
Your name?
my name is Wen Pu Chin.
William Dunleavy.
Okay, this is a termination of tenancy action. And your basis for terminating the tenancy?
Mr. Dunleavy just owes us $28,500 for the rent.
So is there a written lease?
Yes.
There is?
Yeah, it's gone. There's a lease that's turned over into his.
Well, okay, this is very messed up. Ma'am, how much are you saying he owes? $28,500. And that's your sole basis for asking him to leave.
We'd like to get the money back and also,
Well,
if he can't pay currently and the money he owes us, then yeah, we'd like to pay it.
okay, so can you? Oh, there was a previous case between you guys
Yeah.
in 2015?
Yep.
Yes, Your
That was
Honor, you
right.
signed the-
I was like 12. So what happened with that case? Can you look up 15-4C? You got it? Thank you. What happened with that case?
Your Honor, may I ask my property manager to explain to you? Ryan Chin is here.
What happened with the case?
I can say, I paid off that amount, except there's 500 left out of about a 20,500. I was behind 20,000 and I caught up, except for 500. Which I haven't thought about what it would mean other one way or the other to pay that last 500 versus paying.
But you paid it.
Yes. Yep, I caught up.
I don't know why he's waving at me. Come on up, sir. What's your name?
I'm Brian Trim. I'm Winfrey's husband, and I do the property management there. And I just wanted to answer your question more quickly. That was a consent order in 2015 that you had signed in of $20,000 at that time, and he paid it all back, but 500.
Okay, all right. That's fine. I just saw that on the thing. So here's part of the problem. You're seeking non-payment of rent in this case. Your notice to him, well, put it this way. You're,
Your Honor, so we submitted two notice. Please see the most recent one. That's it. 28,500 first on that notice.
At the preliminary hearing, they mentioned something and she corrected and submitted.
right, but, well, I don't know who told you to do that, but here's the problem. Rent is paid. Folks, the notice that you gave to the court is to terminate, is a non-payment notice. Right? That was on 4/27. Your complaint in this case, well, who told you to do it this way?
the court, in Saline.
Previous judge, we had the first Zoom meeting with the judge. I think, we might, send the second notice.
Yeah, we prepared the paperwork at Saline, and they said that that was correct. And then we got to the Zoom meeting, and the judge suggested that there was a
Oh, for God's
problem in
sakes.
the, so
No, it can't be done that way. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to ask him to leave and that's it? Or are you trying to ask him to pay? If he pays, he can stay. If he doesn't pay, he's got to leave.
yeah, that's it.
The second one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, well,
So what we,
so you can't, folks, and I don't know who told you this, and I apologize if it was somebody from the court, because they just don't even get it. You can't send a notice after you filed the complaint. Okay, because what the notice does is tell him you owe this, right? And then he has that period in time to correct or do whatever, or not do anything. And then you file the complaint. You can't file a complaint and then say, oops, I got to send you the right notice. Doesn't work that way.
okay,
Okay. And again, I don't know what they said to you. I'm just telling you, it can't work that way.
understood.
I understand, but Your Honor, the first of the wrong notice, we also attached the item that how much money he owed.
No, I know, but okay,
Yeah, I think.
folks,
I
but
think-
just listen. Your original notice is. Let's go back and look at it and make sure. The original notice that you sent to him, the one dated April 5th, is a termination notice. It's not even a non-payment notice. Right? So unless you just want him to move, well, it's all messed up.
Your Honor,
Because here's the problem. The original notice that you gave to the court before whatever that attempt at a correction was, is a termination of tenancy notice, which says you just have to leave. Doesn't say anything about money. You can put that in your complaint. Doesn't really matter. It just says you have to leave. Here's the problem with that notice. The problem with that notice is his rent is on a monthly basis. And so you would have to, on that notice, if you wanted to proceed on that notice, give him 30 days. Okay? This doesn't give him 30 days. It gives him exactly 7. So that notice is no good to do anything.
okay,
File the complaint that was filed in this case, and this becomes important, the complaint in this case is a termination notice. So if you wanted to terminate his tenancy and just tell him to leave, you have the right paperwork, just bad time frame, and I can't do anything with it.
okay,
So then you get to court. And again, regrettably, somebody then tells you, file a new notice because it's got to have this.
that's right.
Incorrect. You file a new notice, it does nothing because he's got to have the notice before you file the complaint.
Okay,
So none of the notices are good.
okay,
And if none of the notices are good, you haven't, and I don't want to get too technical into the weeds, but you haven't invoked the subject matter jurisdiction of the court, which means I don't have jurisdiction to hear the case. And when I don't have jurisdiction to hear the case, the only thing I can do is dismiss it.
well, if I may speak,
Go ahead.
the objective here was to get a judgment that registers the amount of the money that he owes us, like you did before in 2015. And he did just pay a month rent here in May. And if you continue to pay on a monthly basis and do like he did before and pay a reasonable amount every month toward the arrearage, then my wife is willing to allow him to stay. And that's, what we
Okay,
would like to
whatever,
see.
listen, whatever you guys work out, you work out. I'm just telling you, I can't do anything because you haven't filed the proper paperwork with the court. I don't have the proper things for me to be able to, I don't have jurisdiction. I just don't.
Initially, we filed two sets of paperwork there, didn't
Your Honor, so
we? She did.
I understand you might need to dismiss it. So if it won't work between us, so I need to restart everything from the scratch.
Exactly.
May I ask, is my second notice is correct? For what we're doing right now?
Well, okay. I can answer your question, but I hesitating answer your question because I can't give legal advice. I know it's a funny thing for a judge to say, but I can't give legal advice to either party.
Are there two submissions of two sets of paperwork initially, Judge? Because we gave both in Saline when we initially.
I don't, what do you mean two sets of paperwork?
There was one on there, two forms that we submitted. One on the normal district paperwork heading and another one that was, I'm not sure when Pooh might remember, the second one that you submitted that itemized all of the,
I see an itemization.
okay.
So the
But-
first one I downloaded from the mish.gov says 7-day notice to quit. So then this judge said that this is not for the non-payment. So then I just went to find the second.
Right, no, okay. I get what Judge Barr may have told you regarding your first notice because you were trying for a non-payment. And I wasn't there. I will just say he's right that it's not a non-payment, but it can't be corrected. And even if it was corrected, the complaint that was filed with it doesn't match a non-payment.
Your Honor, may I ask, what would we did correctly, then you will not dismiss this case? I just wonder.
You want to know what you,
Is there,
What I didn't do from this, then you would not dismiss.
so you want me to tell you how to file a complaint?
no, she's asking is
Right
there,
now, I know it's wrong, but I like to know if what I didn't do, just go back, if I didn't.
I know you want me to tell you what you did and didn't do, and I can't do that. Because that would be giving you legal advice and I can't do that.
So at the end, I will know the reason why you dismissed.
Oh, I just said why I dismissed it. Okay, I did. I can't tell you how to correct it. I can tell you that if you were seeking, and I'll say it again, I'll try. If you're seeking to just terminate his tenancy, he's a month-to-month tenant, which means he gets 30 days notice. You didn't give him 30 days notice on that document, you gave him 7 days. So on that basis, that notice is invalid. If you're also then seeking for a non-payment of rent case, which I think you were doing, the complaint that was filed in this case is the wrong complaint. So initially, you had both the complaint and the notice are just wrong.
So
Right.
basically, you wouldn't accept my second notice, correct?
Pardon?
You wouldn't acknowledge the second notice I.
Oh, I acknowledge it's there, but I can't do anything with that second notice. Because you have to give them the notice for a non-payment of rent very clearly on it says language along the lines of, I'm giving you 7 days to do this or do this. You can't give him that after the fact and tell him that's what he's got to do. All right. So I don't then have subject matter jurisdiction because you haven't invoked it for the court The only thing that I can do is dismiss it. So, and I get what you may have been told. So the only thing that I can tell you, nothing in here is right. That's, that's all that I can tell you. I couldn't, on my best day, try to make any of this stuff match, that it would work.
Okay, the video conference, Zoom meeting, at the end of that, they indicated, or at least our understanding was that if we resubmitted that paperwork, and I think that's what she was.
No, I hear you.
Okay,
I hear what either you were told or what was said to you that led you to do it.
all right,
Okay, whether you misunderstood, whether you didn't, doesn't matter to me.
okay,
I'm here now and I'm looking at this and you can't do that.
all right.
If
So-
I had been at the first one, I wouldn't have told you to do that because you can't do it. You
Okay.
can't then give them a notice after the fact.
All right, so we have to start all over again, but,
Absolutely.
and is there some sort of, that we don't have to go through the video Zoom meeting and then come,
Oh, you're only gonna see me
oh, good.
because I have all of the cases now.
Okay, Your Honor, just one more question.
Yes.
It's possible that since we're already here, it's possible that, this $28,000, 500, Mr. Valuables is registered in the court.
I don't know what you mean by registered, but
Like I think she's meaning like a consent, like you did in the consent order previously.
I can't
Can't
do,
do-
I can't do anything.
Okay,
I don't have jurisdiction over the case.
gotcha.
I don't mind talking to you people about it, but I'm telling you, I can't do anything.
we
The
understand.
Supreme Court is very clear in their decision. If I don't have subject matter jurisdiction, the only thing that I can do is dismiss.
Okay.
That's all I can do.
Can we go now and can we file paperwork here now? Or is it too late?
No, they'd be happy to take your paperwork. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how happy they'll be, but yeah, you can file the paperwork.
Is there anything else that you want to ask? Winfrey, is there anything else you want to ask?
No, you guys are good? Okay,
All right,
case dismissed. Have a great holiday.
all right, thank you.
Court does call the case Whitaker Oaks versus Anthony Williams and Christina Williams. I didn't want to leave her out.
For the record, Your Honor, Daniel Landman, P35797, on behalf of the plaintiff. Your Honor, thank you once again for the courtesy extended as I was maneuvering my way around a completely closed I-275 South.
Ow. Ow.
Your Honor, as you'll recall from the last couple of appearances, Ms. Williams had made one $600 payment and then it indicated she was going to pay $300 to $500 per week, hopefully until her balance was paid off. I will indicate for the record, she paid $300 this morning.
Okay, and so her balance is now,
Well, according to the ledger, her balance would be $1937.95 plus cost.
That has
And
to
it doesn't-
include June, Your
That
Honor.
doesn't include June.
It has to because I had it down.
I was at hang on, last week she was at 1426.
Right, but apparently May hadn't been added in. That's where
On May 17th, it hadn't been added in?
I'm showing, and I don't know why. I don't know, Your Honor.
Your Honor, when I was,
I
Hold on just one second.
I have the ledger and I do have what the balance was represented as being when I was last before you. And it appears that May's rent had not been added in.
Well, but hold it, that means as of May 10th, it hadn't been added in? Because on May 10th, I have 2426.95. She paid 600 that day. She was gonna pay 400 on the 17th. She paid 3 instead, right? So that would bring her balance at that point to, well, not 1,000. She wouldn't have paid 1,000, she would have paid 900. So she would be somewhere around 1,500.
That would be my calculations as well. And that's, you know what, Your Honor, this is my error. The balance that they are showing does not include what she paid. So they're holding $1,300 right now that she has paid. And if we subtract that from 2237.95. You're at 937.95 plus cost.
Is what she owes, 937.
And I bet she's going to agree with that.
Oh,
It's more like it, because
God.
I'm like, wait a minute.
that makes sense.
There's the discrepancy.
So they're holding, why won't they just put
She
it?
won't allow me to do the partial payments either because. if I
Okay,
get
here's what
paid
I'm gonna
every
do.
week-
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna order them to take the money and apply it to her ledger.
I understand.
And you will communicate that to
Of course I
Sure,
will.
Mr. Landman, because otherwise we get into this bizarre calculation thing.
Yeah, and they're calling me every 2 days.
Oh, okay. They're calling you on your phone every 2 days? For
I
what?
want to know where the money is and then asking me, am I gonna have my rent on time for the
All
next
right.
month? And
Okay, Ms. Williams, you're paying it. Okay? We don't let them upset you.
but then there is all kinds of work that needs to be done in my house and they haven't done anything.
Okay, we're gonna get there. Let's just try to. So when's the next time, Williams, you can make a payment?
Not today, but next Friday, I was gonna give her 300 more.
On the 31st.
And then the Friday after that, I will.
Okay, so 300 on the 31st. And then you're saying on the 7th,
And it'll
you
probably be before then, but
you have
650.
650 on the 7th. Okay. All right, here's what we're gonna do, because you're knocking this down. They're gonna apply that to the account. I have the 31st and 14th. But I mean, I'm almost inclined to adjourn it to the 14th. Let her make her payments, then apply them to the account, and then see where we are and get her clear before the end.
Because June's rent will be added in.
Exactly. And then that way we can see exactly where you are and then figure out and get this thing. And at the end of June, you can stop seeing. me.
Yeah, and I've been every week giving her all of my paychecks
Okay,
at $100.
okay. Miss Williams, listen. Sometimes either through mistake, otherwise not understanding each other, people do things and they upset each other, okay? So the important thing is I can't stop what they're doing. I can, but I'm not going to interfere in that. The important thing is how you react and understand that when you get here, we're going to make sure that the numbers are right and that everything, okay? So that's the saving grace in it. And so you just don't let anybody upset you. Got it? Okay, so I put that down. I'm going to adjourn this out then to June 14th,
At what time, Your Honor?
2024 at 12 p.m. Okay, so get that payment in and then, so you're saying you're paying every week? So on the 14th, would you be able to get something in before noon, do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to, like I said, it would probably be Thursday that I'll.
Okay, so the 13th, so what can you pay? Because I've got the 31st, the 7th. And what do you think you can pay on
The
the
31st will be the.
$300?
The 300, and then the next Friday, I wanna do 650,
Right, and then the Friday after that, how much do you think you,
probably 300.
300? No, that's fine, that's fine. I just want to make a note of it so that we don't run into it. Okay, great. Okay, Ms. Williams? We
And
spend
if
a lot of time in our lives being unhappy. So do me a favor, smile today, and just try to be happy.
If I'm crunching the numbers correctly, Your Honor, those 3 payments are made, then all we're going to be dealing with as of June 14th is June's rent.
Got it. Okay, all right. You're welcome. You have a great one. Have a good holiday, okay? John Clark versus Jameson Wilson. Mr. Wilson?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. David Fancher on behalf of the plaintiff.
All right. Mr. Wilson, state your name, please, sir.
Jamison Wilson.
Thank you. All right, what are we doing on this case?
So this is a case where last week, Mr. Wilson said he had the money, but he didn't want to pay it until we put a fan in his bathroom. The fan was installed yesterday. And I would request a judgment at this time.
All right. Is that correct, sir?
It was installed. It's not been inspected by the county yet, or the township, I'm sorry.
And so what do you want the court to do, sir?
Give John a little bit more time to get, and we are all good.
Your Honor,
Go ahead, Ms.
Well, when we spoke last week, I think we agreed that it really didn't affect the habitability of the house, but you said.
You
can
don't
get
deal
it
with the
fixed by-
mold inside my house, so
Mr. Jameson, first of all, put out whatever you're smoking. You're in court. Secondly, do not interrupt. I will give everybody an opportunity to speak, but go ahead, Mr. Franter.
But you said, and not to put words in your honor's mouth, but I think you agreed that it didn't affect the habitability, but you said, can we just get this fixed and we'll be done with it? So my client pulled a permit this week. He then had to get a contractor out. Contractor, first day he could come out was yesterday. They were there almost all day. They got it done. They have to go back and sand the drywall and paint the drywall, but everything's done. So I'd like a judgment today. So we can get this case over with. Because I think that was the plan, was get it done. And we did.
Sir, anything you want to say regarding that?
yeah, it's still not completed. They have not finished the job. The inspector hasn't, I almost guarantee the inspector hasn't been out yet. He did not have a contractor come out and do it. He did it himself. So
So
this
if he
lawyer
did it
has no idea
himself,
what he's talking
I guess does the fan work?
Don't know yet. I haven't even been back to the house yet. You guys say it doesn't affect the living. I have to smell when I walk into that house because there was no fan installed over a year ago.
What I'm gonna do? Non-jury trial. Will be this Tuesday coming up, right after the holiday. What is that, 28th?
Yes.
May 28th, 2024, 9 a.m. in person. So everybody's got to be here with their evidence. I'll make a decision, I'll make a call. And that's how we'll do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Red Shield Rentals versus Jaleel Wilson.
David Fainter on behalf of the plaintiff. Your Honor, Mr. Wilson texted me when I got here asking what the Zoom number was. And I didn't have it, but Ms. Wedling gave it to me and I texted it to him. He and I spoke this morning, so I think we've got an agreement anyway, but. Be a 248 number?
It's not.
Yes, I'm here.
What's your name?
Jaleel Wilson.
Okay, he's there. Okay. All right. So what are we doing?
Last week on this one, Mr. Wilson indicated that he wanted to terminate his lease. So I left Mr. Wilson a message earlier this week saying that if he paid his balance, which was $4,295 in rent, $175 in court costs for a total of $4,470, he could terminate his lease at any time. He called me this morning. He says he's going to pay his rent on Tuesday. And I typed under the further orders that once the balance is paid, he can move and terminate his lease by just texting me that that's what he's doing. Doesn't have to give 14 days, 28 days, anything. It's all he's going to do. So it's my impression he's going to pay by Tuesday and then move out by the following Monday.
Got a correct
Yes.
statement, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And we're memorializing that in the judgment.
I've already got a judgment.
All right, very good. All right.
Approach.
Yes. Okay, sir. You're gonna pay $4,470. And then once the balance is paid, defendant can move and terminate the lease by texting the attorney. What date are you expecting to move out by? Because you'd have to move out by June 3rd for sure. You understand
Yes,
that?
I will be out. I'll be out June 3rd. I gotta
Okay.
pack the rest of my stuff and clean up, and that'll be it. I'll have that done. Actually, I'll have that done this weekend.
Okay,
So it's my impression, Your Honor, he's going to pay by Tuesday and then move out the following Monday. That's
right.
If something
yes.
changes on that move out schedule, let me know, please.
Okay, I will. But nothing will change. Nothing. Everything's going good. So everything will be on time.
Great.
Okay. And so, Mr. Wilson, I do have to advise you, this is a consent judgment. You are unrepresented by counsel. You have 3 business days to think about this. If you believe that there's some legal reason, some confusion on your part, some right you didn't assert, you'd have to file a motion with the court within that time frame. It doesn't mean that I would grant it, but you'd have the time frame in which to file that. You understand that, sir?
Yes.
All right, very good. I've signed the judgment. You're all set. Good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Let's call the case of Gulfside Lakes versus Anthony Ned.
Afternoon, Your
Good afternoon, Mr. Ned. How are you, sir?
Honor.
How are you doing?
All right, how are you doing this?
Okay. So we hear anything from the VA yet?
Yes, we did, sir. I talked to a guy named Brian, then Dietrich called me back. I got an appointment to see her the 29th at 10 o'clock, a 2-hour appointment.
Okay, you got a 2-hour appointment regarding housing and regarding assistance for housing.
Yes. Through the VA.
Okay,
I got all my paperwork together and I'm waiting to see her on the 29th. I did talk to her yesterday.
you did, okay. All right, so maybe over plaintiff's objection, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna let this happen and try to make sure. We've been trying to work through with Mr. Ned.
And she did get the paperwork that I gave to the apartment complex. She did receive that.
She did?
Yes.
Okay, so you've been following through with everything you need to do.
Yes.
So I'm gonna adjourn it out 1 week to the 31st. Pardon? Yes,
So I have notes from the last hearing on the 17th, which
yes.
indicate that there was 700 paid this morning, but I don't see that that was ever, was it paid to the court?
I paid off my card. I did, I went through the McKinley props and I paid it off my card, but my bank said they never received a payment. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, so it's not reflected, so it's still $4,087.76, and there's no $700 payment that occurred on the 17th or.
Well, I got it on my phone right here today.
Hold on a second. Did you said it came off your bank?
No, they said they didn't nothing come out and I wonder why, because I paid it through my phone that morning when I came in. That's why I told her that. I wasn't telling no lie.
No, I know. I've got it written here about the 700. I didn't know that there was an issue. But you paid it on your card through the McKinley portal.
Yes.
And so what Ms. Gazera is indicating is they don't have the payment, but
I did.
does your bank show that the money came out of your
No,
account?
I called them to check on it and they said, well, they said they don't show no payment. And I don't know why. I thought McKinley might have took it out, but they said they didn't show no payment on that date and I still have the money in the bank right now.
Okay, so the money did not get to McKinley.
Yeah, no, it didn't.
Okay, so how can you make that happen? Or you can,
I think I still have the same amount. I did pinch a little bit because I thought it was mine. I mean, I can give them something. Yes, sir. I can give them.
well, okay.
You know,
Okay.
but
I
now
got,
I also get paid on the 31st. I can pay them again on the 31st.
okay, so we got to make sure they get their money, Mr. Ned, okay?
Oh, yes, I understand that.
Okay, so of the money that you got left, how much do you have left that you can pay?
About $500-600.
Okay. Do you have 600? Because you told them you were gonna pay 700,
Yeah.
but,
I can, if I got it, I can go ahead and pay it when I leave here.
okay, but if you got it, here's what I gotta know. I gotta know what you have.
I could definitely give them $500 today. Definitely. Because I thought it was mine because I thought it had already went through until I called the bank.
Okay,
Because I wonder why I had so much in there.
okay. So you need to get that 500 in. I can't have it where they're expecting payment.
No, I'm gonna get it in there.
Happen.
As soon as I leave, I'm gonna do it on my phone when I go out to the car.
Right, but I need you to understand this. I'm asking partially because you're a veteran, but also you got access potentially to things to help you. I'm asking the plaintiff to wait.
Okay.
But I can't ask them to wait unless you keep your part of the deal.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, and you told me on the 17th of this month, you're gonna pay the 700, but now we don't have the 700.
Right.
I get what you did, but you gotta get that 500 in
Yes, sir.
today. Now, then you said you'll have something on the 31st. How much will you have on the 31st?
I'll give them another $800-900.
Okay. So let's just say $800 on the 31st.
Yes, sir.
Now you need to pay that before you come, that has to be paid before you come into court.
Yes, sir.
So I want 500 today, 800 on the 31st.
Yes, sir.
I'll adjourn this to the 31st, 2024. What time?
Yeah.
At 2 p.m. So when they show up, those two payments should be reflected, and we ought to have some information from the VA.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Don't let me down.
I won't.
All right.
Won't let me down. I won't let you down.
Court calls the case, Gulf Side Lakes versus Rena McIntyre. Miss McIntyre? Oh, there you are. Hello.
Hi.
Okay, where are we on her case?
Your Honor, the balance is $1,399.89.
89 cents. Okay.
Your Honor, I was, like I said, I have been waiting for that, my confirmation for approval. I was approved. I know for sure I'll be up to date and on speed as of the 31st.
So you were waiting on confirmation. Remind me again. Oh, your 401k.
From my 401k. I did get that confirmed yesterday. I was approved of the monies.
Okay, so when are they going to send that out? Do you know?
It takes a few days. It's ACH, so it'll hit my account in a couple days or less.
Okay, so.
But I
And
also
then
get
you
paid
should-
on the, go ahead.
And go ahead. What were you gonna say? I'm sorry, Miss McIntyre. What were you?
My pay date is the 31st as well, so I just, I wanna have I just wanna have it paid on the 31st.
So everything you think will be paid on the 31st for sure.
On my back pay now, I know June 1st has already been added. But I do have a car note and car insurance, so I'm gonna split that up and they'll be completely paid in June. By June, I believe it's the 14th where my next check come.
What will be
But-
paid by June?
That's my June rent. What it is McKinley, they add that. When I look at my portal, already June's been added as well. But far as that 1,300 that I owe, all of that will be paid on the 31st.
Well, you have 13.99?
$13.99 and 89 cents.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna ask you, Miss McIntyre, with the 401k check coming. And you get a payment on the 31st, but with all of
Mhm.
that, this 13.99.89 can be paid before the 30 or by the 31st for sure, if not
Yes.
before.
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'm not dealing with June rent right now. I'm just, okay,
Okay.
okay.
So
So I'm going to adjourn this to the 31st, 2024. I'm going to indicate that you're going to pay the balance by the 31st.
and that's the
And that would be,
1389, right?
Pardon?
And that would be the 1389, correct?
13.99.89.
1399, yes. $1,400, just say.
There you go. Thank you. I like people that just round up.
Yeah.
Just do it. Okay. And that's at what time?
2 p.m.
At 2 p.m. So on the 31st at 2 p.m. And then hopefully it can be dismissed and you'll be all set. Then you can
I got
make your
one
way through
question.
June.
Thank
Yes,
you. I
ma'am.
have one question because this morning I got caught in a meeting and almost had a heart attack. Thought I missed this court date. When I get up and pay that money and I know I've paid it off, do I need to be present on Friday at 2 p.m.?
If you are absolutely sure that it's done, you can also contact plaintiff's attorney's office. And once the payment's made, and they can tell you if it's going to be dismissed.
Okay, sounds good. I will do that.
Okay, if they know.
Mhm.
So, but the best thing, Ms. McIntyre, for that reason is make sure that the earlier in the day you can pay it, the better off everybody's gonna be.
I will do that.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank
You have
you.
have a wonderful holiday.
And you too.
All right.
Okay.
Gulfside Lakes versus Shanice Tripp.
Marissa Gazari, appearing for plaintiff.
She's not Shanice Tripp. Katrina Pimentel versus Haley Wilson. And everybody's here. And it should be Katrina and Christopher.
Yes.
I am also here from SOS and helping Miss Wilson, Judge Simpson.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. And Miss Wilson, okay, where are we on this case? How much is owing, folks?
Good question. There
Yes.
was. Go ahead. My daughter actually just got off of work. She was working late today, so went to put money in the bank. However, I'm still, got some discrepancies, I guess, on the ledger.
Okay, all right, fine. To the Pimentels, to the plaintiffs. How much are you claiming is owed?
Just sent an email to Grace and so based off of the March 29th hearing that we had where I'm sorry, but can you go back, please? Based off of the March 29th here where you changed the amount to 1035 and her amount did change in May. It's no longer $610. We believe that her balance as of today is $423.
I can do that right now.
That's so we had we discussed
Hold
on
on
our
a second,
previous.
ma'am.
I'm sorry.
Is that 423 including your cost?
No,
All right, so I have 423 plus your
was a-
filing was 130. I have 166 in cost.
yeah, so it was 130 filing fees and then I had to pay 75 for mailing to the core and all that.
75.
I overnighted. It was USPS. I mean, I can take whatever's reasonable. Honestly, we're at this point. At this point, we
Well,
just want
I
to
only
resolve-
have, the only thing, ma'am, the only thing I have in my file regarding service fees is $36.
Oh, sorry. Yes, that was a process server. I wasn't even calculating that. It's it's fine. Mailing, we can eat that cost. We don't, it's fine.
All right, okay, thank you.
We just want to resolve it at this point.
All right, so that's a total of $489. And
Okay.
Ms. Wilson, you said you can pay that?
Yep, I can get that Zelle to them as soon as my daughter gets back from the bank. She just deposited the rest of the money.
So you can get it done today?
Yes, Your Honor, I can and will.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna indicate defendant is to pay the balance by today. I will adjourn this out to the 31st, 2024 at 12 p.m. If it's paid, the case would be dismissed. If it's not, then I'll give plaintiffs a judgment for whatever their amount is.
Perfect.
All right?
Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, folks. You guys
Thank you
have a
so
great
much. Have a
holiday.
happy holiday weekend.
I will do. Once I get to it, I'm gonna have a blast.
I know that.
Judge, thank you.
Not too much of a blast up.